So this is my Thursday motivational speech. I do on my Mondays and Thursdays only. Subscribe for the love of God. I only have 44 subscribers. I cannot go live on YouTube and freestyle and do motivational speeches and bring other people on with me until I get 1,000 subscribers. So for some reason that's not happening. I have 44 subscribers, which is insane because I have 44 subscribers, which is my age. I was born in the same age as Wrong to Strong. He made an emotional video yesterday about wanting to be a pastor instead of teaching about cartel life. I sent him a video 8 days before that telling him it's not a good idea to talk about the cartel. I told him who I am, where I'm from, what hoods I'm from, and what my street name is. And I'm trying to motivationally speak. That's why I'm not bringing it up. You want to know my street name? Go to my raps. I mean, Jesus Christ. Motivationally speaking, the analytics shows me how many people see it, but then it shows like 10 on the views. And then, so I know that 10 means 100, 69 means 690 for the 11-second video I did. Shorts are the ones that sell more than full long videos. I swear to God, I only do full long videos because one person, the Go Grocer, that wants to move, I'm so disappointed. He wants to move out of state. He told me, he's like, why don't you do long videos one time? I was like, because people don't watch long videos. This is on my left side camera, motivationally speaking. I put it on the right when I'm rapping, or I put it on Instagram, forward like this, because I'm in your face as an MLD OG. Now, the projects I want to build, it's going to be very hard and easy for me. It's going to be hard because City Hall might get involved with it. I know who really runs City Hall, and, they have to give me permission to do it. Second, I'm going to have pastors running it. Not the pastors from Uganda or Kenya because they don't understand Chirac. I'm going to develop the projects on the northwest side first. I thought I was going to do west side first, but I'm going to do northwest side first. And what they're going to be called is foundations. Now, the way they're going to be developed, then I'll do the west side. I'll do 2 on the northwest side, 2 on the west side for the blacks, and for the northwest is for the Hispanics, and the south side is for the blacks and Hispanics. But I told Wrong to Strong, you should do that with Montana 300. You guys are the south side guys. He's a D like you were a D, but you're also Latin King. So our connections are outrageous. Yesterday, for example, I was talking to a guy from KB on Facebook, private name, private location, and he was like, "Oh, you friends with this guy?" I was like, "Yeah, I'm friends with this guy. That's my brother from another mother." He's like, "Oh, well, you know this guy?" I'm like, "Yeah, I know Chief ID, man, rest in peace." And he's like, "Damn, nigga, you this and that." I'm like, "Yeah, I'm this and that. My name is this and that." And I'm like, "I'm from this and that." He's like, "Oh, shit, that's what's up, nigga. I'm on." So we were talking, and he was telling me that he got incarcerated until 2005 from the 90s. And I said, "Well, MODs don't ask the fucking question, why the hell you got locked up?" And he was like, "You too." Meaning he didn't ask me a single question why I did 7 arrests and one arrest in county. That's how MLDs talk. That's how OGs talk. Now, neutrons, like the one that was in my crib, they ask questions. The questions he asked were so suspicious, even from the psych ward. And when I saw Kicks D in my crib, I'm like, damn, they brought folks from KC. That's salty. This nigga's a trick too, man. Why don't you just do your time, nigga? Damn, that's salty. Instead of being a trick, just do your time, man. You must be tired of doing time. Now, the way my projects are going to be set up is for people like Kicks D example. People on the west side is who I used to get weed from. They used to spray it with rat poison and different kind of psychedelics to make you have fun. And fun is like all of a sudden you're high and you're buzzing and you're having a good time watching a movie and you're driving back to the crib and you're going like this. So if you ever saw the movie Friday, the black guy was tripping. That's because he was on the psychedelic weed, which then was probably shrooms. I don't even know what shrooms is. I refuse to Google what the hell a shroom is. It's probably with acid on top of weed and uh, berico, which is cocaine on top of weed. Who knows what he smoked that day? So he decided, because he's a Christian, a long time ago after the movie Friday, because it basically represented marijuana, that he wanted nothing to do with the franchise. That was a huge mistake for Ice Cube to continue the franchise after losing him as an actor, because he's the one that made that movie a classic. Now, when he did two and three, he made it garbage. You know, he tried to bring other actors that were as phenomenal as Tucker and Chris Tucker, and they're just, I think that's his name. Um, I mean, it was terrible, terrible movies. I seen two and three one time. You know, Friday countless times. Um, the way I want to develop my projects, and I want Ron Strong to see this, is there's going to be a partition for biometrics, meaning you have to go ahead and go through the Tesla experience of studying your eyes to make sure you live there. Okay. To then have people come over, biometrics has to be used. So you're going to have to come downstairs and bring your family and friends in, because your biometrics is going to have to be used to bring them in. There's not going to be balconies, because one balcony could shoot another person from one balcony to the other. So I decided against that. So it's going to be Project Way, where there's going to be gates and you can see outside. So you will have a position to see outside in each apartment, but not balconies shaped to the point where you can shoot each other. The other thing I'm going to have is the UFC section. If UFC wants to be part of it, that's up to them. If they're not a part of it, they're complete fucking idiots, because where are you going to get your recruitments? You're going to get your recruitments from psychologically disordered, dyslexic, mentally challenged blacks and Hispanics. Now, if you don't believe Kicks D that tricked on me, trick is the word for snitching on you. If you don't believe that he was full of mental disorders, you're dead wrong. You don't believe he had post-traumatic stress disorder, you're dead wrong. If you don't believe he's been fighting depression his whole life, you're dead wrong. If you don't believe marijuana is used for him every single day, not because of an addiction, but because it's to sedate him to the point where he doesn't want to commit even dangerous crimes, more dangerous crimes. Now, you know, facts are is that I'm on medications for everything minus schizophrenia, to be honest with you. Um, to this day, I believe that I was created to be mayor of Chicago. Maybe it was just a car accident for me to go to Peoria mysteriously 3 hours away from Chicago. Makes no sense why I would drive to Wisconsin Dells, for example, to go ahead and get some. That makes no sense. Was I psychologically challenged at that point? Yes, I was. Was my ex-wife willing to stay with me? Yes, she was. Was she a terrible person after my car accident? Yes, she was. Now, the reason she was is because if you stop to make love to your husband, then you're psychologically challenging him as well. And then when I got caught with the marijuana and I moved out to my father's crib is a home. And when I moved to his crib, I had mental disorders up and down. I started aggravated arson inside his crib, as well as next door to the Chicago police officer. So they called the police and the fire department when this took place, because he has to report it. He's a Chicago police officer. He has to fully report it. And there were so many police on the block and so many firemen on the block, and they were investigating me. So they're like, well, why did you do this? So I was like, I was just starting fires. They're like, well, why did you start fires? I'm like, I'm in love with fire. I thought I was just burning stuff outside. And they're like, but did you realize that you burned the home next door? I was like, no, I didn't realize that until later. He's like, well, did you try to actually fix the home? I was like, yeah, I was trying to fix the home because it was messed up. And I didn't want to get caught by my dad either. And he was like, you didn't want to get caught by your dad, but do you know how much damage you did inside your dad's home? I was like, I have no idea. So I was like, I think it stinks. That's about it. That's how psychologically challenged I was. I didn't even know that I had damaged the floor. I burnt the mattress. I flipped it over. I put fire on the floor. Put fire on the mattress. Put fire on all the garbage between the hallways of the Chicago police officer's house and my dad's house. Um, So the way I'm going to design the projects is for aggravated arsonists, is for shooters, is for gun people. So there's going to be a shooting session actually. Now, it's only going to be for people that want FOID cards, which is people that are going to have the weapons legally and know how to shoot correctly. Now, many Aglayan disciples, for example, that's what I was born and raised with, literally born and raised with it. Literally born and raised with it since I was, I don't know what age, as a youth, as a kid. And first murder I witnessed was at 9, etc., etc. So I was a kid when I witnessed the first murder at 9. So essentially, what happens? OGs don't talk about shit. We don't ask questions about shit. We don't want information about shit because we don't want to get locked up for your stupid shit. So that's why we don't ask questions. That's why we remain silent. That's what silence comes from. It comes from several reasons. That's one of them. You don't want to get locked up. You're silent. He got locked up, and I know what Chief ID was doing, so he probably got locked up for narcotics. That's an assumption. Now, he could have just did attempt murder. He could have just did all kind of things. But you don't ask questions. And especially when you're online, you don't ask no questions. And in person, we don't ask no questions. Now, he could talk to my buddy, the governor, who's his friend, because they're both from KB, and ask him questions about me if he wants to. But niggas like that know not to ask questions. And niggas like my governor remain silent. And, when he knows the governor and I know the governor, we're automatically best friends. So we ended the conversation with amor. And amor is when you say love, because we have hearted horns that look like this. So hearted horns means you're an MLD, and they're glad disciple till you die. And it's on my heart. And I've been fighting myself to get that tattoo for so many years, right on top of my heart or on the right side. And I've been fighting myself to get this MLD tattoo on my back so many years because it would be by my grandmother and my sentence to my grandmother. I do not put pictures of kids. I do not put pictures of adults. The reason you don't do that is because I believe in superstition. I believe in the fact that besides my science experiment to see how humans are born, I believe 7,000 to 8,000 years ago, and the Ice Age was 10,000 years ago, but yeah, you're older than that. Okay. So human beings are older than that. They're more than 7,000 to 8,000 years ago, and they were just chilling in the Ice Age. Yeah, I'm sure. They were eating well in the Ice Age. Polar bears definitely were doing fine. Fish were doing fine. I think whales are dinosaurs. I believe sharks are dinosaurs because they were the small fish. Back when this place was highly oxygenated to the point where dinosaurs existed. But I don't know what I'm talking about. So many million years ago, right? I'm stupid. So you think the asteroid took out everyone on the planet Earth? You're wrong. If you think they disappeared the entire ocean, you're dead wrong. We're not able to go to the lowest part of the ocean to find all the microbiotics, all the atoms, all the subatomic particles, all the existence that lives there. You don't believe in subatomic particles, okay? You don't believe that there's 4 things between you and animals that connect you. You don't believe you have the same DNA as a mouse, almost. You don't believe you have the same DNA as a chimp. Yes, you do. Now, animals were born separately in different bacterias. Human beings from chimps were born separately from different bacterias. Maybe some chimps slept with some adults or some kids and they were able to inseminate themselves to make Africa. Native Americans, different. Christopher Columbus did not discover America, but Neil deGrasse Tyson believes that was the biggest exploration that ever took place in America. So, yeah, it was a great idea that Europeans decided to come over and rape and molest the children, rape and molest the wives of the husbands, and then kill all the husbands and then take America from them. So the ones that survived, the limited Native Americans that survived in America, were able to basically be America because the continent was one land before, and maybe another land, and maybe another land. Africa and United States was connected. And for that example, that's because of the 700-mile fault line on California. Now, there's no reason to move away from California because of the fires and the earthquakes, because when that takes place and the 700-mile fault line, because of the ice age on the 700-mile fault line is why Elon Musk is in a hurry, because he acts like an asteroid is going to come in 8 days. But I don't know what I'm talking about. So if you don't believe in all those things that I just mentioned, you don't want to Google it. You don't want to learn. The blacks that I see on Instagram piss me off because they are so mentally challenged. It's disturbing. It's upsetting. It actually makes me very sad to watch blacks talk about straps, and straps are guns. When they talk about weed, I hope they're in the state that it's legal. I just saw the mayor of New York talk about, oh, let me give you this gift to Stephen Colbert, and I thought that was funny. And it was probably actually marijuana. And does he smoke marijuana, the mayor? Maybe, maybe he doesn't. Did he smoke marijuana before? 100% he did. Obama smoked marijuana in college. He went to Harvard. And if you don't believe, my ex-wife believes marijuana is a drug, you're dead wrong. They believe it's a gateway drug, which it is. Now, it is if you're mentally challenged. Now, I did mushrooms, cocaine, marijuana, beer, and I think it was vodka or Bacardi at the same time. So that was the day that all of a sudden a dog, I heard him in the alley or next door, and I was like, what the fuck, man? I'm gonna kill that motherfucker. A dog, a little dog. And that's how psychotic you become on mushrooms. If you have a good high, and then it leads to a bad one. I'm under investigation as I talk this whole thing. Do I look nervous? Because I've done zero things illegal. The First Amendment allows you to go ahead and say you want to kill someone. That's the Constitution. So I've done zero things illegal. If you have illegal possessions, you have narcotics, you have guns, you don't have the FOID card, which is the license for you to have legal guns, then you're an idiot. Now, the way my projects are going to be designed, my foundations rather, because they don't want projects here, I think Chicago should have boroughs like New York. I think there should be one borough after another, after another, after another. I think Humboldt Park should be one borough. I think downtown should be another borough like Manhattan. I think the Bronx should be the west side. I think the Queens should be somewhere on the south side. And I think, another name for another place on the south side, because the south side is gigantic. And then there's the northeast side that people don't even know or even talk about. Southeast side, rather. People don't even know about it, unless you're brown or black. Now, white people, I have several problems with white people. My problem is that it's in their bloodline to be racist. My second one is, like, I was sleeping with the same girl that was sleeping with another gangbanger from the mortgage company. Do I give a fuck? I cheated on that woman probably 1,000 times. I knew she was a thought. She was a super thought. I knew that she would only go from one man to the other. Then she broke up with me. She got the STD from that nigga at first. Then she questioned me if I gave her the STD, and I'm all about no STDs. So I was fucking all these other bitches with condoms, and they were just sucking my dick. And then, suck my dick without a rubber. It's up to them. They want to go ahead and catch shit from niggas. Now, you can go ahead and get potentially HIV for that, especially once you come. But the whole point is OGs don't wear condoms. I'm smart. I wear condoms. So the way I'm going to have it when I'm multi, I'm never going to get married again, because me finding a better woman than my ex-wife is probably almost damn near impossible. You would have to be highly intelligent, a super freak, and nationality would have to be Hispanic, because if I'm going to run for mayor, then run for presidency, between there, that Floyd Mayweather is what I'm going to be. You're going to sign a contract, a confidentiality contract. You're going to see my lawyer first and my nurse first. You're going to see my nurse for the STD testing, and you're going to see my lawyer for the contract you have to sign to protect my confidentiality. Now, if you think the federal government cannot listen to this whole conversation we're doing, minus the bugs I threw out of here, um, game over. You're stupid. If you don't believe they could just be outside my crib with a little phone looking like this, you're stupid. If you don't believe the FBI has private technology that you have no shape or form understanding or would ever understand, then you don't believe in Elon Musk and artificial intelligence. Yeah, you're stupid. Um, Now, you don't believe they could watch me through my TV if it has a camera, you're dumb, deaf, and blind. If you don't believe your cell phone can just record you nonstop 24 hours a day, you're dumb, deaf, and blind. If you don't believe it's an algorithm watching and listening to you based off the words you say and what you're doing, you're dumb, deaf, and blind. If you don't believe you can go to a restaurant and have a meal with your OGs and say something stupid, you're dumb, deaf, and blind. Um, you don't fuck with the government. You fuck with the government, you deserve prison. You deserve federal prison, which is terrible. State prison is great. As a maniac Latin disciple, it's fantastic because you get to do whatever the fuck you want. And you get inside whatever the fuck you want. Now, you get pussy all the way to drugs. And it's legal inside prison. Now, do I believe drugs are legal in the United States? I believe the CIA Contra did exist. I believe the CIA did bring kilos of cocaine here. And I believe since then it changed to meth and heroin as well. Now, the reason they do that is for population control. That's a dangerous fucking topic to talk about. And I will never prove that. Um, I can Google it, I can learn just like anyone else can learn publicly. But if it's public information, it's public information. Now, if I prove it one day, I will get assassinated by a CIA hit list. So I have no desire to prove like the one guy that proved that we didn't go to the moon in 1969. He's on a CIA hit list. I know how smart I am, so I know that I don't want to be on a CIA hit list. The projects, back to the projects. We're going to have a nurse. We're going to have an attorney. We're going to have a FOID card representative. We're going to have the UFC gym, a full gym, okay? A basketball court, tennis court, place to play soccer, a hill to go ahead and take your kids to go sliding in the wintertime. A little bit of skiing if you want to learn the easy mountain and how it is to begin how to learn skiing, because you can go to Bartlett and all these several suburbs that have real hills, real mountains that they created. Um, Now, was there mountains there before in Illinois? I highly doubt that. But I mean, it's potential is there, of course. Do I love Chicago and do I love Illinois? Of course. This is where I'm born and raised. Will I have houses all around America? No, that's incorrect. I will have houses around the world. Um, I defriended my pastor on Facebook because he wouldn't listen to me. His age was in the 50s. I think he was 51. He was a grandchild, a grandparent with 5 grandkids. And I told him, if you do not listen to me, that means you have no respect. If you do not listen to me, that means you upset me. And if you do not listen to me, I will befriend you. That's exactly what took place. He kept blowing up my phone after I told him to never do that again. And he did that, and did that, and 3 strikes you're out. So there's this other pastor in Baju, which I'm starting to believe is a hustler, because I haven't seen one video chat of him in the orphanage. The only one that will video chat me is the other pastor I befriended. Befriended? No, defriended. Um, has nothing to do with being OG. Now, the other thing I'm going to have in the projects is your ability to learn different topics, because I want them to be business owners. Okay, they don't just have to be employees. They can be employees, but I have to deal with all their psychological disorders first, and that's what the nurse is for, and that's what the psychiatrist is going to be there for too. These people are going to be there 24 hours a day. They're going to have 8-hour positions, so they're going to rotate like nurses, or it might be 12-hour positions rotating like nurses in hospitals. The ability to get those people recruited into working for me, easy. My ability to pay them, easier. Um, my ability to educate them on the street side, no need, because I'm gonna have the OG section, and then I'm gonna have the nurse section, the attorney section, Ford section, the entire gym, tennis court, soccer, and a hill. So the reason I'm gonna have a hill in Chicago is because I'm gonna beg who really runs City Hall as well as the mayor, will they allow me to put a hill in the middle of the city in the two projects on the northwest side, two projects on the west side. Then South Side should belong to another because I have no knowledge of the South Side. I've been to the South Side 1,000 times, but I have no knowledge of the South Side. So Montana 300 has knowledge of the South Side. Um uh, King Cato had knowledge of the South Side, but Ronta Strong has knowledge of the South Side. So, if Montana 300 doesn't want to be a pastor type of person like Ronta Strong, then, he just wants to be a rapper, then that's up to him. I understand that. He wants to be with his recording company. They're not allowed to throw a pitchfork, so I understand that as well. Um, those are the only two people I follow from the South Side. I follow two people on TikTok, two people from the South Side. Northwest Side, forget about it. Thousands. Illinois, from here to Joliet, thousands. The fact that I went to Peoria to have my car accident and almost die, suspicious. Um, Very suspicious, not for me. Very suspicious for what I think happened. So, my mind, because of traumatic brain injury, took my mentality to a much higher place. So essentially, what happened is that I became a brainiac. Now, I was allergic to geometry, was allergic to algebra in high school. That's why I went to Jones Metropolitan after sophomore year of being fired, not fired or what is it, demoted? I don't know, thrown out of the school because what happened was I started aggravated arson there. I did it with two people, me and Jesus Razo, and some other people that were supposed to do it, but they were probably scared to do it. Jesus Razo, I use his full name because he's in house arrest. He's in Arizona. Good luck finding his address because the government won't allow you to do it. Um, I can't find his address. So if I, of all people, can't find his address, then it's, game over. I don't even try. I know that from my YBO, GBO best friend from the mortgage company, and I don't use his name either or location, but I can go visit him yesterday. And if you don't use the word yesterday to do things, you have no sense of urgency. If you don't use the things right now, you have no sense of urgency. If you use the words tomorrow, tonight, or the next day, or the next week, you've lost. You're completely lost. Meaning you just lost what you want to do. Meaning if you don't do it yesterday, you don't have the sense of urgency to do it right now, you don't do it. I bet 9 out of 10 of you have never gone to get your $1 million life insurance policy for life insurance. For life insurance, $1 million life insurance policy from your insurer. So you're probably telling yourself, oh, let me wait until motivational speaker Mark Anthony Martinez with a K goes ahead and develops the PHP life insurance company so I can buy it from him. Okay. So then you're on Christmas and you're on Thanksgiving and you're people running around for Christmas and you're on the Black Friday and then you're on the Cyber Monday. Then you're over here not going to have a car accident. Okay. You're not going to get shot in Chirac. The blacks and Hispanics. Okay. Whites are not going to get shot in Chirac either. Okay. That's never happens. Yeah. Hispanics don't shoot whites. Wait, Hispanics don't shoot Hispanics. Wait, Hispanics don't shoot blacks. I think they do. I know that because when I was gangbanging, they had problems with GDs. And I had serious problems with that. I was like, what the fuck, man? I'm like, GDs. I'm like, man, Montana's, that's BD, I learned later. Because I don't know, black and white representative people or folks. And I was like, man, let me Google that shit after I said I'm going to do this with Montana 300 for the projects. But whatever, it's up to him. And Wrong to Strong, I think I'm just going to stay connected to him, because the other guy's a recording artist, so he's got money. Wrong to Strong, I can tell does not have money because he has a Patreon set up, a GoFundMe set up, and he was on house arrest a year and a half ago. So he can't work for PHP Life Insurance as a real estate agent. He can be a customer. What I highly suggest for Wrong to Strong is to be licensed insurance agent with his wife, meaning he's married. But if his wife's not a felon for the last 10 years, he can work for my PHP life insurance. Now, I don't think he wants to work for somebody else because I believe he wants to work for somebody from Chirac. I still live in the projects. I know you probably hate that I call this a projects because it's a beautiful building with security. There's 3 ways to get to my apartment through security. I mean, and locking the doors. So that day that we walked away from each other, they basically got picked up. The 2 FIs got picked up and they got let into my apartment immediately. So then when I got here, I was like, how the fuck did you get let into my apartment? And they were like, oh, no, security, this and that. I was like, security? Like, security just gave me a beef about coming in. They're like, no, you had a beef because they knew that you sent me to my apartment. Then they knew that you got into my apartment. I was like, but they didn't even know my apartment number when I walked in. I was like, man, I'm highly intelligent. I'm street smart and sales smart. So I knew what took place. I knew they just got let in by whoever in the government. And again, I'm gonna say, don't fuck with the government. You want a drug deal, carry guns, think you're gonna get away with it from the DEA or the CPD. Cook County sheriffs are gonna protect you inside. It's impossible. The amount of people in Cook County has to be outrageous. 9 out of 10 of them are black. The other 1% of them, in my opinion, is whites and Asians. Probably because of the triad. And whites only because they're neutrons, which means they're in the neutral. My stepmother is so innocent that I asked her, I'm like, do you know what a neutron is? She's like, yeah, it's science, right? And I was like, no. A neutron means you're not people or you're not folks. That's a gang technology slang. There's a lot of slang you will never learn about, like Amol I just taught you about. That's going to be the end of the story there. It's called a basement jargon here. Basement vocabulary, and you will never know that vocabulary. You will never know the lit, which is the literature, meaning a prayer that Maniac Latin disciples have to learn once they become made guys. Let's just put it that way so you can fucking understand it. So anyway, moving on. Did I ever memorize the literature? No, I didn't. Did I ever need the literature? No, I did not. Did I ask my governor for the literature the other day? Yes, I did. Did he ask me, are you gaming? And again, I said, yes, I am. He was like, well, then what the fuck, man? Just go learn the literature from there because I don't remember that shit from 30 years ago. I was like, oh, true story. That's why I don't remember shit. So, there's so many things Ron Strong cannot talk about. That's why it puts tears in his eyes. Yesterday put tears in my eyes to think about him wanting to become a pastor and stop cartel life stories. The reason I talked to him out of it, in my opinion, it could have been somebody else or a pastor that talked him out of it, but the reason I did that video to tell him not to do it was because you should not talk about El Chapo. El Chapo still lives here in the United States. So if you want to continue to talk about El Chapo, it better be 2 things. It better be your true life story, which is almost impossible for us, and then public information, which is not impossible for us. I told him, okay, I mentioned him right now. I told him I'm Fast D from KC and BK. I'm like, I'm on an investigation for this and that. And I was like, it's a video I did 8 days ago. You want to see it? And 9 days ago today. And when he cried on the video, I saw it 3 times before I did my video, and I started to cry on the video. You don't see OGs cry ever, unless they have real reasons to cry. Governors all the way to chiefs, all the way to regular game bangers have multiple reasons to cry. They have multiple reasons to have post-traumatic stress disorder. They have multiple reasons to have bipolar depression that I have, social anxiety disorder. All those combinations, the meds that I'm on are so strong that my psychiatrist said, your meds are strong. Now, when a psychiatrist that works in prison says that your medication is strong, that's how psychotic I became. So, like the 500 milligrams that I talked about on that other video, I take 3 of those fucking pills every night. Latuda, 80 milligrams in the morning, 80 milligrams at night. She was freaking out. She's like, "You're taking 80 milligrams in the morning, 80 milligrams at night?" I was like, "Yep." She had to take a pause and think about it, which was hysterical. Uh, you know, when you have like my beef with the Jewish man was to go ahead and kill him if he caught folks and to kill his whole family if he caught people. When you go public with that as a silent man, you're an idiot to know what just took place there. It was over $100. Now, when you insult me over $100, which was $80 the night before, and then it turned into $100 a day after, pissed me the fuck off. And it was around 3 in the morning. I was thinking about it. I was like, man, I'm finna start a war. And then I said these videos are deleted by my sister when I was in the psych ward. She was like, if you want to go ahead and be demented and suicidal and homicidal at the same time, then join a gang yesterday. Join whatever gang you want. Wrong to Stone only represents Latin Kings and SDs, which I believe is Spanish disciples for him. And I don't think it was Satan disciples because I saw the color, which is red for Satan disciples because of the devil, and blue is for Spanish disciples. So disciples control Chicago, Illinois. If you don't believe that, you're dumb, deaf, and blind, meaning you don't live in Chicago, Illinois. Bloods and Crips, I refuse to Google that. I will watch Bloods rap like Wu-Tang Clan. I'm sorry, Vice Lords rap like Wu-Tang Clan. I watch Bloods like Lil Wayne, rap. I watch, which I believe is Folks, Jigga from his projects, Marcel. I believe a lot of things. I believe Crips are folks. I refuse to Google that. But Snoop Doggy Dogg worked with the Bloods as a Crip. Now, I'm 5 Fats D6. So that's going to be my name. I've been thinking about Fats D56, but I'm not a Latin King or a fucking Mennonite Latin disciple. So that's wrong. I should never do that. So I'm going to put 5 first, Fats D second, and then 6 third. The reason is because 3rd is divided into 6. 6 divides into 12. 6 with that divides into 18. I hate 18 because that's the last year that I game banged. And 23 is Michael Jordan. Those are my lucky numbers. I hate 18. I like 12. I love 6. I'm okay with 5. And 23, of course I am. Now, 34, Walter Payton. If you don't Google him, you're dumb, deaf, and blind too. Football player, running back, Chicago Bears, won the championship with us. He made sure he did everything possible that day for that game for us to win. Meaning he had to get all the attention of all the defenders to go ahead and devastate his body so that the other players can then go ahead and score. So they had the refrigerator 72. 54 Urlacher 72 back in the day that did a running back position to score a touchdown, if I remember correctly. I got to see that game again, actually. And because I'm not even recalling who we played against. I think it was the Patriots, but I might be wrong. Now, I might be really wrong, actually. I don't know. So the projects are going to be developed in a different way. There's going to be the religious section with the pastor. Religion doesn't matter in Chirac to people that are gang banging, meaning kids. If you don't believe kids will shoot you in the fucking face that are high and drunk, children, you're dumb, deaf, and blind. If you think you should go ahead and visit Humboldt Park, visit the South Side, visit the West Side, Oak Park, I highly don't understand going to Oak Park, owning a home there. It's the borderline of Chicago, and it's right on Harlem Avenue, past Harlem Avenue to go towards Manhattan, for example. And it's like your way of inviting yourself to get killed by a kid. Um, Fullerton and Mannheim, I learned from the trick that it was the Latin King section. He was trying to teach me that in the psych ward. He was like trying to find out for me if I knew about that. I was like, nigga, I ain't a Latin King. How the fuck would I know about that? My Latin King's an OG grandfather. My fucking MOD governor's a grandfather. I ain't a grandfather yet. Like, what the fuck, man? So you trying to put all these things into my mind. And I sent this one video to Ron to Strong, and it's about emotions. So what the FBI did to me is the truth serum was to make me highly emotional. And the reason they wanted me to make me emotional is so that I could become satanic. And when you become satanic, you want to kill everybody in front of you. And that's because that's my mindset. Now, if it's emotional for you, let's say a woman, you might just be crying hysterically. You might miss your ex-husband. You might miss your kids you lost with full custody. Things of that nature. And if you don't believe that emotions are how the FBI control you, and that was part of the truth serum, I'm not even gonna talk about it anymore. It's so sad when I talk to people that just don't want to listen to me. Now, if you don't listen to OGs in your life, you white people, for example, where it's in your ancestry and in your bloodline to be racist. If you want to just sleep with black men, Hispanics, I want to say, I don't even want to say 9 out of 10. I want to say 100% of the time, women, white women that sleep with Hispanics and blacks, OGs, never ask them a single question about their hood life. Never ask them about their gun life. Never ask them about their drug life. The girl I was sleeping with, she felt my little ounce of perico in my fucking pocket. And she knew who I was and who I was connected to. And she decided not to have a baby with me, so she aborted my baby. She hid it from me that she aborted it. And I know she aborted it. And I know to this day who she slept with, who she got the STD from, and who she was mad about getting the STD from. So then she broke up with me, probably to go back to that nigga. Then, they had a conversation, they had an argument or whatever. And then they had an argument in front of me after she broke with me, I think, on a Friday. I was blowing her up on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday on the phone. She wasn't taking my calls. Monday, we go to work. She shows up like an idiot and then goes to have a conversation with the guy that she got the STD from. Thank God I didn't get it. And, she fucks without condoms. She swallows without condoms. She just doesn't care about anything. She's an idiot. Thoughts are idiots. Their thoughts, even if they're serial thoughts, meaning they're serial monogamous, but they're thoughts, meaning that's a hole over there. Now, if you don't understand that there are so many sluts in this world, then you don't watch Pornhub or YouPorn. Okay. They're fucking 18-year-olds that were just in high school the year before. I think they should be 21-year-olds to do porn. But what do I know? I know nothing, right? I think they should be 21-year-olds, so they have the word 18 out of their number, 19 out of the number, 20 leading to the legal age of 21 to drink alcohol and be smarter than when they are as fucking little kids. I will never date an 18-year-old, 19-year-old, 20-year-old. You would have to be 21 and above to be at the mental level to sleep with a man that's intelligent like me. Now, do I have to sleep with intelligent women? Absolutely not. Well, do I have to date an intelligent woman? 100% yes. Now, if you're not intelligent, it's very easy to show me you're not intelligent. It's very easy to show me you can't do calculus. It's very easy to show me you don't know how to do English. Very easy you can't memorize history and science. It's very easy you don't understand what Tesla's doing. It's very easy you don't understand what Chirac is doing. It's very easy you don't understand why this is a murder capital. It's very easy as you don't understand why population control started in China. Now, North Korea, for example, they came out with these pictures of a weapon they have, and it shocked the government, the news says, and we didn't know they had that. Those are news people selling drama to you to go ahead and watch their shows. I mean, 24-hour shows, CNN and Fox, what do you think they have to do? They have to cause some kind of drama for you to be interested in going back to them. Because if they don't cause some kind of drama, then why are you watching the news? Because you could just watch Channel 2, 5, 7, 8, and 9. I mean, Channel 2, 5, 7, and 9 and 32 when you go home at the end of the night. And you can Google everything today. So it's like they have to create some kind of drama. I would say a few seconds and listen sometimes. Because if you hear silence, that's worse than not hearing silence. Um, MODs are silent killers. I don't know anything about anyone else. I was never a Latin king, refused to ever be a Latin king. I got into a beef with that chief and told him I'd become a Latin king to fuck with him and start a war. He then learned I was psychotic. I know his age. I know where he lives. He knows where I live. He knows my apartment number. So we know each other's address. I'm so smart that I can Google that nigga by his full name that I found out. And he didn't even know I found out about it because he's so stupid to keep his mail around. So I learned his full name. He didn't learn mine, moron. And the kids definitely didn't give a fuck about my full name. They just gave a fuck about Fats D with a Z. And they just gave a fuck that I'm from KC. They just gave a fuck that my governor is my best friend and he's my brother from another mother. My governor for the rest of my life. My Latin King side, he's another brother from another mother. End of story there. Um, the projects are going to be developed. Northwest side is going to have one people, one folks. West side is going to have one people, one folks. South side should have definitely with Ron to Strong, one people and one folks. He wants to start a foundation on 26th Street. I think he should start on 26th Street and then go, Hispanic neighborhood and then go to a black neighborhood, the 60s, for example, 70s, for example. I don't know where the fuck the black neighborhoods are because I'm not scared of driving around Chirac. When you're suicidal, you just don't give a fuck about dying. When you're homicidal, you don't give a fuck about prison. When you're full of anger, like the True Serum did to me, that made me want to shoot my dad and my sister in the face and my brother-in-law. Before that, I never ever in my entire life wanted to shoot my dad or my little sister. But True Serums are what they are. They're to make you highly emotional so that you can go ahead and trick on people that you want to get tricked on, or you want to trick on. So I think what happened with them was because I was out of the psych ward for a week, it's because I got dehydrated because I was walking for 8 miles. And, police were traveling all around me through those walks, I remember now. And, one of them was the Plains. When I was walking with the FIs, it was Chicago police officers driving by. One of them sped by, so I dropped to my knees. The FI saw me do that. They're like, nigga, you dropped to your knees, you all right? I'm like, yeah, nigga, that's what you do in Chirac. What the fuck? You just want to get lit up? They're like, that was the police. I was like, well, nigga, shit, fuck that. You don't know if there was a police or a drive-by. He's like, God damn, nigga. They got to learn all these things from me, besides the fact that I was aggravated arsonist. And, I showed them all these things. I started, when your stepfather tells you that your stepsister's family and friends are going to be investigated, then I end up in a psych ward because I wanted to kill a man and kill their whole family. That's to talk me out of it. So all of a sudden, all the mentally challenged people were exited from there, and they were put onto the good side. One person got naked on the other side, came here for a couple of days or a day, and then they took her back. The other one person, I can tell she was in a psych ward for real because they strapped her down at one point. The other FI was never strapped down, even though she deserved it. Talking to me about investments in a Bloomberg channel, so she had to have some kind of knowledge about it. Being an FI, Oscar, I know for a fact was a neutron. Was he a felon? Maybe. Did he have a DUI with pills? I believe he did because they have to have truth to your story for you to tell the truth to me. So they have to make you highly emotional. So I remember hanging out with Kicks D smoking marijuana. He's like, "You still this?" Silence. You don't talk to me about stealing Christmas gifts, you fucking asshole. Now, if I see Kicks D today, I will never ever even stab him, because not only is he from KC, and they know that I will never stab him, is that um, the mental disorders that man, post traumatic stress disorder is at 100% level with him, 100% level. Did he fight for depression? I have no idea. MODs don't talk like that. When I talked to the nigga from KB, I don't even know what he got locked up for with. I assumed it was for drugs. Am I gonna ask my governor? Goddamn no. Um, when we chill and smoke weed later on in life, um, my governor be out of state sometimes, and be out of state to see his mama and shit like that. And when I get, um, when I got locked up the 7 times in high school and the 1 time in Cook County, didn't bother me at all. I choked up with the BDs and the GDs when I walked in. I was like, I didn't even know their shakeups. I was like, what's up, folks? And that's like this with the pitchfork up. And so I just shook up like that, and they shook up with me, and they didn't give a fuck. They were playing spades, and they were trying to teach me to play spades. I was like, I don't like that shit. So I was just chilling, whatever. I think I called my old man and said, hey, what's good, blah, blah, this and that. I think he talked to me about getting out of there. I don't remember what I said. That conversation is really blurry. But I didn't give a fuck about leaving Cook County. I mean, I'm with folks. When I got locked up for gang recruitment, and I went through the whole process, it's going to be all along. When I went through the whole process, they're like, all right, well, you folks are people. I'm like, I ain't shit. They're like, all right, we'll put you wherever we want. I was like, no, I'm getting locked up for gang recruitment. No, I'm folks. They're like, all right, well, no, you didn't want to say it. And then they went to the next one. I got stabbing in my dick for tuberculosis or whatever the fuck. They make you spread your asshole, make you butt naked in front of all the men to see what, if you have any narcotics on you. Definitely don't have any guns. You would search for that. But you can stuff a 380 up your ass if you want to. I don't know why you would want to do that. That could cause serious fucking pain. 22, the smallest gun I've ever seen. You stuff it up your asshole, I think it would just cut you the fuck up. Yeah. So you could swallow drugs and then shit it out later. You can put it on the side of your mouth, so they make you do that. Make you do that. Lift your tongue, all that other shit. See if you have any way to get out of handcuffs too. The technology that law enforcement has is beyond our understanding, beyond our ability to understand it. I always say 30, 40 years later, you're going to find out about what the FBI has, because 9 times out of 10, that's what happens. Like 1969 on the moon, everybody thought we landed on the moon. I believe today we didn't. Am I going to prove it? Fuck no. I'm not going to be on a CIA list. There's a lot of things I'm not going to prove because I don't want to be on that hit list. I'm highly intelligent, so there's a lot of things I can prove, but I don't want to be on that hit list. And do I believe the CIA hit list is in America? Yes and no. They're able to travel America, like attached to the FBI, for example. You don't believe that? Okay, then watch Sicario 1 and 2. That's a movie. Forget the fact that Benicio del Toro's in there. It has nothing to do with me being Puerto Rican. Emily Blunt, I believe was her name. Phenomenal actress. Josh Brolin, phenomenal actor. Now, I'm going to end it with this besides the projects. I hope I had a good conversation with you guys. If I didn't, I can tell by my analytics. The sad part is women don't want motivationally speaking. That's the bad part. Because I think it should be 50-50. There's more men than women, but I believe that it should be 50-50. More men than women that exist, I mean. It should be 50-50 for motivationally speaking. Because women, besides having all the abilities men have, horny or wanting to make kids and things of that nature, that's part of our DNA. That's something that the DNA is going to be stuck in the FBI database forever for me. Um, you have to understand that when I was giving my prints to them on lighters, and all of a sudden my lighters are going disappearing. I understood what was happening, and I don't care about getting rid of my DNA, um, because if you get murdered by me, it would be for a phenomenal fucking reason. Meaning, you did something to my family, and that's gonna be the game over for you. Now, I'm so intelligent, I will get away with it. Meaning, I'll get away with the murder first, and then I don't care about going to prison. Um, so, you want to fuck with my family? Good luck with that. Um, the Federal Bureau of Investigation is gonna fuck with my family to try to fuck with me. Um, I think they realize how smart I am at this point. I think they realize that I know that it's gonna be federal informants. I think they know that I'm gonna use my instincts against them, and they should know everybody in my family and friends who's concealed carrying too. Um, Matter of fact, they should know. They do know. Um, they know that I can't conceal carry. They know that I can't have the FOID card because I was in a psych ward just this one time. I lost count of how many times I was in a psych ward. Did I go public with the guns I had? Yes, I did. That's the psychotic nigga does. Um, did I have to throw away guns before I went to psych ward? I absolutely did. Threw away 4 fucking guns. Um, because when you're in a bad mood and you want to commit to the whole family doing the bad thing, you have to be equipped for it. And me, I wanted to do it by my damn self. I don't want to get anybody else involved with it. For one, I don't trust kids. Definitely MLD kids. Um, Chief, I could trust a little. Uh, I think before I speak sometimes. There are other niggas that I know that I would trust 100% for my life. Um, there are donations I need to make um, to my government. And when I run for the city of Chicago mayor, I think it's going to be hard and easy. It's going to be easy because of my sales abilities and my ability to talk to congressmen, senators, judges, city halls, plural, governors, plural, president of the United States, vice president, the people that are in City Hall, the people that, in my opinion, run City Hall, the blacks that are hired by Chicago, Hispanics seldomly in City Hall for some reason. Um, I know how Chirac works. I know why Chirac works the way it does. I know why we knocked down all the projects in '98. It's not an opinion. It's my fact opinion. Um, I end this in an hour because I don't think you niggas watch more than an hour. I think the only nigga that watch more than an hour is the grocer. But I'm trying to get you guys to watch this shit. Monday and Thursdays, you get the motivational speaking. Throughout there, you get like announcements or things I want to talk about. And, I'm going to end it with this. You guys don't want to subscribe. Maybe you're watching this from the TV. It's like you're not watching it from a tablet or phone or a laptop or computer, I guess. I don't understand this. I don't understand why I have 44 subscribers. Maybe it's because I put everything on Snapchat, TikTok. I hated Twitter, but I decided to go through with it and have 7 apps. That's because that's the real lucky number. So I have 7 apps now. Twitter, Snapchat, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, YouTube, and I'm drawing a blank because I'm not used to having 7 apps. I'm not used to having 7 apps at all. Instagram for sure. Hey, Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, Twitter, TikTok, YouTube, LinkedIn. That's the 7 apps. I wanted to just have 6, but now I have 7. Will I be promoting on those when I financially get to the position to do it? I will. Um, People try to sell me 20,000 followers here and there. No need for a person like me. I'm highly intelligent. And I'm going to buy it the right way.